Nigel. This is Lucas from Allside, and we're going to be talking to you guys a little bit here about siding, the benefits, the do's, the don'ts, some questions. We got a couple questions that came in from some of our viewers, and we would like to share the information back with you guys. Lucas, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you entered the industry of and what you do?
Sure. So my name's Lucas, and I've been involved with the building products industry for about 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I got involved with vinyl siding, particularly at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked on the remodeling side a lot.
Okay.
And on the new construction side,
Mm-hmm.
working with builders.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've been with Allside now for about 6 years, working as a regional sales manager. And so I basically cover this region, which is going to be Fayetteville, Pinehurst, down to the border of South Carolina. And in this area, I represent Allside. And we have a warehouse that's here that is a supply house for
Mm-hmm.
contractors.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to help in any way that I can to support contractors that are out there that are using vinyl siding.
Sweet. Okay, great, Lucas. Thanks very much. So, guys, in case you saw right there in the bottom of your screen, you might see the Dream Homer Show. We've been told by the audience that they want this show to be called the Dream Homer Show. We call our customers Dream Homers. You guys are Dream Homers, and as of today, this will be episode 1 of the Dream Homer Show. We got Lucas over here, Nigel over here. Like, share, and subscribe wherever you're coming from. We are streaming on many platforms: Facebook, YouTube. We're out there, and we're trying to just bring the information to the general public and answer the questions that you keep submitting in to us. So every Wednesday we'll have a show. We don't know exactly what time all of the shows are going to be yet, but for right now it's between the hours of 1 and 1:30. And we're going to try to answer some questions and give some insights on what we know about the industry. Right, Lucas?
Yes, sounds good.
So you're on episode 1 of the Dream Homer Show. How does that feel?
Didn't expect that,
You
but that's
didn't
great.
expect that. Yes, the Dream Homer Show is now official, and you're on episode 1.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about siding itself and when it was introduced to the market.
Well, it was probably in the 1950s, in the late 50s, where vinyl siding first started to hit the market. It was early in the industry. It was just something brand new. It took until about the 1970s for them to work on in the industry, for it to mature enough to where the manufacturers were able to create better products that would hold up better to the elements.
Okay.
And so it really started to improve in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 80s, it started expanding a whole lot more. And it's been for the past about 30 years the most used vinyl, or the most used siding in the country.
So basically, you would say it grew in those years when it came introduced to the world. It then showed itself as proof, and then the proof started to grow in the material and different type of products that come involved in the siding industry.
Right. There were a lot of great benefits to it, and it just needed time to spread and to grow and to mature. And it's the same way today, and it's even improving. And as technology improves, then products continue to improve as well.
Yeah, because back in those days, I can just imagine houses was just board, this slats coming down, and that was basically it, or whatever. But now you have siding to really protect against all the elements and really water bouncing off of it properly and all that type of stuff. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. All right. And another question we had came in from some of our viewers earlier was, does siding have a different level or quality and thickness? Does it have that going on? How would you say?
Right. Well, speaking of quality, the first thing is thickness. And there's different levels, which would start off with 040 being at the lowest, 042, 044, and 046.
Mm-hmm.
And 046 being the thickest.
Mm-hmm.
One of the reasons why it exists as different product lines is that it can hold more pigment in the thicker panels, which means that in the lower products that are here that are thinner, there's limited color palette.
Okay.
In the darker products, which are a little bit more expensive, they're thicker and they can hold more pigment, which means they can have darker, deeper colors.
Okay.
And actually, in just past probably 5 years, sometimes even less than that, we've come out with new colors that are deep and dark, even some black products.
Yeah, because I've seen now that we've got customers that request those two-tone homes, and they get in the dark, blacker color, and then that lighter color tone, giving that variation that people like in today's world. So I see what you're coming from. Now, you mentioned there that the thicknesses are in O and O and O. So the smaller the O number is the thinner the material, and then the larger the O number is the thicker the material. Would that be correct to say?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Just to help our viewers to understand it in that level versus the actual, technical term. All right. Does vinyl siding have a different wear rating?
Wind rating.
Yeah, wind rating.
Yes. It comes down to the thickness, because once you get to thicker panels, they also have stronger backbone to it, which basically is where the hems come together.
Mm-hmm.
They're typically going to be stronger there as well.
Okay.
And that can, once it's installed on the wall, it can withstand higher wind ratings.
Gotcha.
So the 04 panels, depending on the manufacturer, are going to have at least 110 mile per hour wind rating.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas for example, we have a product that's called Charter Oak, which is an 046 panel. That one holds up to category 5 winds, which is at least 157 miles an hour, which it's withstood. So that's kind of the difference, to where there's benefits as you go up the higher quality.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just that you can get darker colors.
Right. Okay. Got you. Sweet. We have a couple things laid out here. Is there any of that can demonstrate that?
Yeah. Actually, let's talk about this one, the Charter Oak.
Okay.
Pull this one up.
All right.
So this one right here, and this is something to note, which we'll talk about a little bit more too, is that the panels themselves are either D5 or D4.5, which means double. And so you've got right here, this is showing 3 sections, but truthfully, let's just look at the bottom 2, this piece and this piece. This is a D4.5, which is actually, this is 9 inches from here to here. Okay. And vinyl siding, because there are limitations.
So the 9 inches is from
right here to right here. It's called double D5 or D4.5.
So this double flow stays on one sheet of siding. So
yes,
when you have one long length of siding, this is one panel, and then it clacks to the next one, and so forth.
Yes, this is just showing the 2 styles, which you've got clapboard here at the top,
mm-hmm.
which has a little cove to it that's flat. And then you have this Dutch lap is what it's called. So you've got 2 main styles of vinyl siding.
2 main styles, people. 2 main styles. You got
clapboard
uh-huh.
or straight lap,
mm-hmm.
and then you've got the Dutch lap.
Okay.
And so when you're looking at
so Dutch lap, is that like when I do the Dutch? Is that?
I don't know where it came from, truthfully.
Oh, okay. So, okay. I'm just saying, Dutch. Let's do some Dutch real quick, but let's keep going.
But this is the most popular style.
Okay.
Speaking about the actual wind ratings, this is the Charter Oak, which I mentioned before. You can't hardly see it here. There's a blue section that's cut out here, and this is where the nail hem is. So this is our 046 panel, and it has a rigid, strong, reinforced hem, which is right here where it rolls over. This is to protect the wind rating.
Got you. So that there gives it that strength, making
very
it firm.
It's very rigid
so that
compared to the others.
Right. So the other one has a little bit more flexibility in it. This one has that more firm, so it holds better and clips better to cause the wind to not create the flapping.
And that's why it can hold up to Hurricane 5.
Hurricane up to Hurricane 5, possibly a 6, or just Hurricane 5 is what it is.
Does it go to 6?
We hope not. Woo! We need new products in the market if that happens, right? But hopefully not. Another question there. Go ahead for that one.
What is insulated and composite siding? Oh, great. So we actually brought a few pieces of that. So insulated siding, as you can see, vinyl siding is quite thin, but it does not come standardly with any insulation. But we do have, in the past, let's say 10 years or so, newer products which come with insulated backing, which are adhered to the siding itself. So this is a special product which is called Prodigy. Now it is a 046 panel, and this is a double siding as well, but it comes in a single 7, which is basically the depth of it comes out to be a single 7 inches. Okay. But this is just showing a different style, which is double. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the reason why you would want to use this as an option on a house is that I use this analogy or this example all these houses residentially are built with wood studs, and you've got your wall cavities that are here, and you've got embedded insulation that's put in there, right, to help the home.
Correct.
But there is something called thermal bridging, which is going to be caused by the wood studs.
Correct.
There's no insulation in the wood studs. Now, if you took all the wood studs and you added them all together, it'd probably add up to about, a quarter of the house. And so you've got essentially an entire wall of the house that doesn't have any insulation.
Okay.
And so whenever you put this on the wall, on the exterior, it's going to envelop all the studs and everything and add about a 3 R value, which, insulation added is, be R15 or 18.
Right.
But this is going to add a substantial amount of insulation to cover the entire.
So with that on the outside, plus you insulated the inside, you got a home that is like giving you really tough nut stuff.
Yeah, there's no reason not to consider this product.
Okay. Well, you seem to be very strong about that. So what would you tell the audience other than it's giving us the R ratings and all this type of stuff? What would you say else? Does it help you? Some people may think of it like, when something hits it, or it does it give a better bounce back?
Sure, it does as well. That's the reason why it's 046. This is also, there's different styles. There's different matted variations. This one is built to have a deeper shadow line, and it has a mill finish, which makes it look like cedar siding.
Got you.
So this is different, being that it's thicker.
So if you took a piece of cedar wood and you held it up to this, it will mimic it slightly.
Yes, that's the reason why, as opposed to the other type of vinyl siding that we have. It has a different embossment, which is a little bit, different in appearance.
Got it. Too easy.
Yeah.
All right. So
the other composite.
So yeah, go ahead. Shoot for the other composite.
So this is the composite product. Now this is also insulated.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's an insulation there, guys.
It's thin.
See that? Right there. We got insulation.
It's thinner than this other one, but it still has a very similar R value, which is about 2, 2.5. So with this, it's a flat face. That's one of the big benefits. This is a composite product, which is basically PVC and fiberglass.
Okay.
And it's not vinyl.
Okay.
So it's got a high fire rating. And this is something that compares in a lot of ways to fiber cement, which fiber cement is a different product that's made out of wood fibers and Portland cement.
Okay.
So it's basically considered a composite product in this regard because it is not vinyl.
Got you.
It might look from if you didn't know any different, you might think it's vinyl, but the benefit here is.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at it as somebody who's messed with the vinyl for so much time, when you even look at it against the regular vinyl, it looks like just a typical vinyl.
From the standpoint of, I mentioned before, there's limitations in what vinyl can do as a product. You can only twist it, bend it in certain ways, and heat it.
Okay.
And so this is a true 7-inch reveal, and you can only have a D4.5 or D5, because if you were to try to make the vinyl go any larger than that, then it wouldn't hold up and it wouldn't be strong enough to sustain itself.
So it will become very weak.
Yes.
And then not be able to do the same. This is under the science. This is what will give you the best.
That's right.
Okay. So with all of these different vinyl sided products, does any of them fade from being out in the elements of the sun? The sun's beating down on the home. You put vinyl siding out. How does the sun work against vinyl? And does it matter which one, or is it just all vinyl or non-vinyl that has any problem with the sun?
There's going to be potential for fading for any of these vinyl products, but we do have a 50-year warranty, which is a lifetime warranty that's covered for any excessive fading.
Okay.
Which basically means that if you can see it with your naked eye after a certain amount of time, within 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 20 years, if you can see it with your naked eye that there's a change, then it would be a warranty claim.
Okay.
So there's a specific, I actually have the warranty paperwork here. So
sweet.
Lifetime limited warranty, and this covers all of our products. And it even says all side warrants that the products will not excessively fade. Excess fade is defined as a change greater than 300 units of delta E.
Sweet. So you got that there, people, a limited lifetime warranty in writing directly from the manufacturer. If you can see that, the camera is probably, but yeah, that says lifetime warranty right there on that. So we're actually on the inside. I think it's this silver is probably backing off, but if you look on the inside, right there, we should see it. Lifetime limited warranty. All right, so it's official. Okay, too easy. There you go.
What do we have here? Is there a proper way to install siding? Absolutely. There's an institution that's called VSI,
Okay.
the Vinyl Siding Institute, and it's comprised of people and also with the backing of the major manufacturers of vinyl siding in the country, including Allside, which we support the proper installation methods, and that's what you're supposed to use because it's somewhat complicated. You have to have very particular nailing patterns. You have to have the way that you cut the siding and install it has to be done the right way so that it holds up to the warranties.
Okay.
Because if it's installed improperly, then
Right.
it's possible that it's going to buckle or it's going
Right.
to bend. And that's really the most important part about it.
And just so you know, folks, here at Your Dream Home Improvement, we work with the manufacturer to make sure that the product is installed to the manufacturer specs so that we can uphold all warranties and do everything that is right for you, the consumer. We want our clients, our dream homers, to go away with a sense of peace, happiness, and enjoying the reflection of who they are. So that's something we work very deeply with all of our vendors with to make sure that we're doing things correctly to support the customers that are coming to us and giving us their hard-earned dollars to do things for them. All right?
Absolutely.
All right. So we have another question here. What is the best way to clean vinyl siding?
That one's pretty simple, actually.
Okay.
You probably need to use powder detergent.
Okay.
That's what we recommend
Okay.
with water if you have mildew as a problem with coverage.
So why specifically powder detergent? Why can't you use like a Dawn or a liquid detergent? Why specifically preferred a powder detergent? Do you know?
I don't know the reason why particularly that has to be that way, but it's just the recommended. You can also use, household cleaners.
Right.
So, I think that Dawn is used for dishes.
Right.
It's not for siding.
And also for pets. And so maybe we can pet our homes and clean them off really good with Dawn. I don't know. But so when you said powdered detergent, are we speaking about something like Tide? Is that too harsh, or is Tide a good one?
No, that would be fine.
Or something, not to call any name, but any powder detergent for clothes washing can be used. Tide is just a popular one that we know.
Yes, and mixing with water and using a soft bristle brush.
Okay.
You don't want to use something that's hard because if you were to really go at it right here, then it's possible that it could have some shining.
Okay.
If you
like
really
a polishing type behavior.
Yes, you don't want to do that.
Gotcha.
But if you have mildew, you can use bleach as well instead of just water.
Okay.
So it will hold up to bleach.
All right. One of the questions was what type of warranty is there with siding, which you touched. There is a lifetime warranty, and then depending on install and best practices being held up, the warranty will be held up accordingly for like 50 years or something of that sort.
Yeah.
Right?
So just to mention, there's a solid warranty that will basically we stand behind the products, and we know that there's very rarely any possibility for there being warranty items, but there's a way to prevent blistering, peeling, and fading as well. So chipping, there's delamination, all of that would be a problem, which we typically don't have.
Okay, got you. So in case you're just joining us, my name is Nigel. This is Lucas from Allside. I am from Your Dream Home Improvement. We're talking today about siding, the use cases of it, best practices of taking care of it, warranties, answering a couple questions that came into us on siding. If you have any questions, feel free to enter it. We have people in the background with more. If you have more questions, we'll be happy to answer them for you. We have viewers now on the now called, I'm getting familiar with this. This is our first show. It's now called the Dream Homer Show. Thanks to you guys for naming this event for us. And now moving forward, this will be called the Dream Homer Show. This will be considered episode 1 of the naming of the show. And we have Lucas here with us answering a few questions and giving us some deep insight on what happens and how to deal with and work with siding. Um, I'll take a moment away from the question. Lucas, is there anything in general you want to tell the people?
Vinyl siding has been the most popular, product for a long time now, and products just keep getting better. This composite product that we talked about, that's only been out for 2 years because it's been hard. We spent almost 3 years developing it. That's how hard it was to create a product that is a composite that would meet all the standards that we wanted it to have. There's a lot of engineering that went into that as well. So we're very proud of that, and it's starting to hit the market the past couple of years. There's reason to not look down on vinyl siding. Sometimes because of you might hear in the market people talk bad about it. I think it's just a stigma that there's been, but it's the most popular. It's not going to cause any problems if it's installed properly for 50 years.
Right.
You don't have to paint it.
So in most cases, you would say when you hear problematic situation, it's mostly related to bad installs or mistreatment or something like that, because the industry shows it. Majority of homes built today in the U.S. across the board are vinyl sided. So it's a very heavily used product. It's all over. Everywhere you turn, it's there. So obviously, our states and local authority that was looking at this thing going up is approving it to be used in all the different, because little do you know, some of these products have to be approved to be used in different climates, different spaces of the nation, and it's across the nation. It's not a problem to use in hot. That's the correct one for the right place, right? Would
Yes.
that be true to say?
Yes, and I'll mention this as an example. I gone on a call that was for potential warranty claim. And it was for a contractor, and the installer was there, and he had actually already installed it twice. I didn't know about this, but the builder had bubbles in the siding, and so they had the installer come back out and replace it. And this was for the third time they were replacing it because it had bubbled twice before. And unfortunately, the installer didn't know that they were installing it wrong. But that was the problem. It wasn't a warranty problem. The bubbles were caused by buckling, because you cannot nail the siding tight. And so I took the siding off and evaluated it, and it was as hard, tight nailed as it could be inside of the nail hems. And that prevents it from moving whenever it gets hot or cold, and it'll start buckling everywhere. And so that's really the biggest problem that arises.
So two key things there with that, nailing it tight, and so with these type of materials and even some other materials that we use, you have to leave room for expansion and contraction. This is a home does that, whether you believe it or not. It does that. When it heats up, it stretches out the material, and then so if you don't leave room for those behaviors to take place naturally to the home and the home to breathe, let's call it breathing, it does not, it's like squeezing something into something that is not so, and then it can't move, so then it buckles out, and that's basically what happens with the siding. And now you mentioned the nail area. So this is the nailing area of siding right here. And when we nail there, that's what we don't want to nail it down so tight that the siding can't get to move on the wall and do what it needs to do to continue to be effective and protecting the home. Would that be correct to say?
Yes.
All right. So with all of this, they come in a variety of colors, it seems like. So just to hold another board up, it looks like there's quite a bit of colors here to choose from.
Yes.
You guys can see all of that, right? There's quite a bit of colors that we can choose from here in vinyl siding. My question is, can we paint the vinyl siding?
If you were to paint the vinyl siding, it voids the warranty.
Voids the warranty.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So that's definitely not something that we would recommend, and it's something that officially it will.
And in all honesty, painting vinyl siding looks, it doesn't look good at all. It peels off really. It may initially look good, but it doesn't hold up to everything. So we got about 5 minutes left here on the show, and we just want to know if you have questions, please go ahead and share them, like us, subscribe to us if you find this information useful and helpful. Again, this is Lucas. My name is Nigel here at the Dream Home Show, and we're just trying to educate our customers about vinyl siding. And any questions we can answer for you there after the show, keep putting your questions in. We are very good with getting back to you and answering you and getting all the questions answered. Lucas, I get to go for number 10 and 11, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sure. So when vinyl siding is discontinued, what do you do if you need repairs? Well, at this point, I'm not talking about the past,
Right.
but as of right now, you can look at all the colors that we have, and we don't have any plans to do any discontinuations. I don't foresee that happening. There has been discontinuations in the past, maybe 10 years ago, where we had held on to certain colors that were not used much at all.
Okay.
And then we just decided finally, after we phased them out, that we were just going to prevent them. But if you had to, you could go to a different manufacturer. There's probably about 5 main manufacturers in the country, and you could try, if one of them has been discontinued on your house from the 80s or from the 90s, you could go around and they might have one that's very similar in color, and that would be the best approach.
Right. Yeah. So we have been in that situation time and time again, customers and dream homers. What we do is we match it as close as possible, so the naked eye from a distance doesn't really see it. You and I may know that we change, his brand versus another brand onto your home. But truthfully, the color variations are so close, and the lap is so close that we can most time match it up. In some cases, there are very, very, very small cases where a match is just impossible, and then we'll think about another solution, such as making a design, making a pattern. There's different ways to handle it. You can take out a section, change it into a different form of a siding, and make it look like it always was there for the house, and a new style, and add new things. So there's many different ways to handle it. Correct?
Yes.
All right. And last but not least,
what is the difference between hardy plank and vinyl siding? So hardy plank is the brand of fiber cement siding, which is made of the wood pulp and the Portland cement. It's, when I think of it, I think about the cost, and I think about the labor-intensive, process of installing fiber cement. There is no insulation with options with fiber cement either, but it's difficult to install in comparison to vinyl siding. And
it can be brittle, it can crack. It can,
yes, it's more expensive than vinyl siding, and it's going to be something that you're going to have to repaint in the future,
right?
And the maintenance that you have to include. So
that's one of the pros and cons of vinyl versus that, is that you have the ability not to have to paint. You can just wash and shampoo your home to clean it up and bring it back to its luster. Whereas with the other product, you have to paint the house. So you'll go through the process of having to hire a painter, get the evaluation, get your home painted again, and let whatever that paint manufacturer product stands up to, that will be how long you will have that before you have to do it again in the lifespan. Whereas with vinyl, you can get those 50-year, 60-year type behaviors and don't have to worry about it for a very, very long time.
Yeah,
correct?
Absolutely.
All right. If I was to say anything, I learned some things yesterday myself. I thank you for coming in and joining us here on episode 1 of the Dream Homer Show. Dream Homers, thank you for allowing us the time and taking time out of your day to listen to us, and as we try to answer the questions so how we do these questions, when the phone ring and you guys ask us a question, we make note of those questions. Or if you on the lives or anything like that right now, and you are just streaming with us right now and you ask a question, we make note of those questions, whether it's about siding or something else, and we come back and answer all the questions to you guys to the best of our ability. This way, we can answer several people at the same time. We hope that this information will serve your needs and help you to make better decisions on the products and things that you want to do. And if you have questions, feel free to flood them in, and we will be continuously answering them for you. I can always go to Lucas and ask him the newest question answer.
Yeah, right? Sounds great. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks, man. All right, Dream Homers. Thank you. And here we say at your Dream Home, reflect who you are. All right.